Hi, it's Suzanne from moonsongdesigns.com. Thank you for joining me. Today's project is this dinky little box, and it really is dinky. It's a 4cm cube, which I've made specifically for lip balm. I make balms and butters and things. So you've got your little lip balm in there, which are clearly still alive. And this will fold flat. So if you're somebody that makes balms and butters and you want to have boxes on the shelf ready to go, then this will be perfect. It wouldn't take up very much space. I've used early espresso and very vanilla, and the stamp set I've used is called Sealed with Love, and I think it's lovely. Lots of little hearts, obviously coming up to Valentine's, but it's just so pretty. Dinky little hearts, and these elements here I think are very pretty too. So for this box, let's get these out of the way, I'm going to use Soft Sky and Very Vanilla, just because, well, two reasons really. Soft Sky is a beautiful colour, and I thought I'd lost some of those, and also because I've got blue on the label. So you need a piece of cardstock that is 14 by 17 centimetres. So just get my cutting tool, scoring tool, get the cutting blade out of the way. You're going to be scoring on actually exactly the same on both sides. So you start with 1 centimetre, and I'm going to use the measurements that are down this side of the tool for this. Then I'm going to twizzle it round, and I'm going to score at 5 centimetres, 9 centimetres, and then 13 centimetres. Turn it round, and on the short side I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Score it at 1 centimetre, turn it round, 5 centimetres, 9 and 13, and I will have all the measurements on the blog, both metric and imperial, so don't worry about writing anything down or trying to convert. I'll do that, I think. Badly, but I'll do it. Right, now we need to get rid of some bits. So if you start with, what actually I'm going to do first is fold and burnish, just because it makes it easier, first of all for you to see, and secondly for me to see. So we've got a very narrow strip here, so I'm just going to try and fold it in the right place, and then burnish all of these, and burnishing just gives you nice crisp edges. So like that, and then this way. And it's much easier to see where you're cutting as well, I think, if you folded and burnished first. There you go. Right, so if you start, what you've got a thin strip, if you've got the long side, if you've got in a portrait, a landscape orientation, you've got a thin strip here, a thin strip here, and a thin strip here. So if you start with this thin strip, it's probably the wrong way round for you, but this is to my right, and we're going to get rid of these bits here, there, and this bit. So you're just left with that little bit in the middle. And then we're going to cut down all of these. Separate all these out. Like that, just up to that first score line. The same on the other side. And then we're going to come and take some of them away, or bits of some of them away. There we go. So on this first one, all you need to do is take off, I would say about 1/3 of it, maybe 1/2 of it. There's no set amount to take off really, but these will be the tabs that fold, that close your box. You leave that one as it is. And then you come across and you do the same with this one. So you're taking, well, not the same amount, it doesn't matter really. And I'm just going to trim this because I've not cut it very well here, and it does need to be, this one has to be particularly neat. And then this one you're going to get rid of completely. So take that off like that. And the same on this side. So you take that off completely. You take however much of that off, third or whatever of that off. And I'm notching these out like this. And again, the notching, you're just taking slivers off really. And then the same thing with this. Chop that off there. And then notch that. Notch that. And that's the shape you're left with. So, I'm going to find some fuse, and no I'm not, I'm going to round the corners first. So if you round the corners of this one, like this, like that, and then the same on this one. This is the top and bottom, the lid and the base. And of course, if you wanted to give it a bit of extra strength, and you wanted to, you could seal the bottom. You don't have to have an opening bottom. Now I've just got this piece of, it's just photocopy paper, because it's quite a narrow tab and I don't want to get it all over my squares. And if you've cut it correctly, let's just make sure it's not sort of over the edge. If you've cut it correctly, that should fold neatly like that. There's your box, and you can seal it like that, and obviously like that. So I'm going to just fasten it, close it for now, and just put it to one side. So we need to do the decoration, and for that I'm using this lovely heart, and I've got 4 squares of Whisper White, and these are cut at 3.5 centimetres square, so it's just half a centimetre shorter on the width and the height than your box. I've got some, get that out of the way, got some soft sky ink, which is one of my favourite colours. It's just just a lovely, lovely colour, I think. And without trying to get my head in it, it fits perfectly. There you go. So here's the second one. It's just a very pretty little heart, this. Third one. And fourth one. There we go. And I'm going to need the sentiment, which I haven't got out. So get rid of the heart. Now, the sentiment, I have, stop talking while I'm rattling plastic. Now for the sentiment, which we're just going to do now, I'm going to give it plenty of space round it. There we go. It's a lovely font, really, really beautiful font. So the sentiment, I'll just show it you again. It's quite a square bracket, and to punch that out I've used this. Now this is obviously a lot bigger than this, so I'll show you a trick for using a punch like this. You can do it lots of different punches, but for using a punch like this to get lots of different shapes and different sizes. So let me just grab a scrap of card or paper, and I'll show you. So if you were going to cut out the whole thing, you'd get that. Then what you can do, if you grab a post-it note, which are over here, I'm not very well prepared, am I? You grab a post-it note and post-it note will enable you to feed your shape back into your punch. So let's say I want something similar shape but much smaller. I just feed that back in, decide, I might do it on the side, it might be easier. Feed it in, decide how big you want it and what sort of shape you want. Yeah. And then you punch that out, and that has got stuck in the post-it note. There you go. So I've done it very quickly, so I've not done it right, but you would get, if I had done it properly and the punch hadn't shot up, you would get that sort of shape. So for this, I wanted a square. I've popped it in. It just fits, as you can see. But actually I think I did I do it that way? I can't remember which way I did it now. I think I did it that way. Yes, I did. So I've popped it in. Decided where I wanted it. Just punched it out. That's better. My punch is misbehaving, I think. And then with the scissors I just cut a bit off. So I cut it to the right size, like that and like that. And then using my corner rounder again. Oh, great. Shush! Excuse me a minute. She's a useless guard dog, really. Using the corner rounder, sorry about that. Oh, she's coming back now, lovely. I just rounded off the corners, like that. And you have a completely different shape. It's not quite in the middle, but it'll do. So you've got a completely different shaped tag. So you can do it, as I say, you can do it with all sorts of different punches, but just play around with them and see what effects you can get. So this is soft sky ink again. I need re-inking. Oh no. So I'm just inking around. There's the boiler. I think it's a conspiracy today, isn't there? Clearly. So just ink around all of these. Quite a quick little box to make, and you know, boxes are, once you've learned how to do them, you can have a really good play around. I tend to do very simple ones. I'm a simple person. But I think this one is quite an effective little box, and I think it's nice. For me, if I'm gifting one of my products, people know I've made it, but it's nice just to pop it into a gift box rather than just give the product. So, although the product is fantastic, I have to say. Right, so just checking I know where the lid is, or the top is, and using, you could use fuse, you could use snail. I'm using fuse because that's what I've got out. Oops. Refill on the way, thankfully. And then just pop it into, just centre it up, pop it on. One of my fellow demos has just spent a fortune buying glue and other sticky stuff. So I thought I'd better order some before it all ran out, because she was having a field day, I think. But as a crafter, you can never have too much adhesive. It's one of the great things about Stampin' Up. You can come into contact with, look, I've got things here. It's the full moon effect, I think. I've got things leaping to their doom now. Being part of Stampin' Up is fantastic, because you get to meet, even if it's just virtually, you get to meet lots of different people. And I'm part of a fantastic team, really supportive and really encouraging of each other, which is just lovely. So you pop that on there and open the box, pop in your lip balm, and there you have it. 2 boxes. Let me know which colourway you prefer. I think I'd probably go with that one. It's a chocolate lip balm, which is why I went with the early espresso. I think very vanilla is a bit like white chocolate as well. So there you go, lip balms in a box, ready to go, and let me know which one you prefer. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.